I think grapes, just in general, are kind of weird in cold salads.
It may sound funny to have grapes, especially cooked grapes, in a pasta salad.
But people love it though, yeah.
And cooked grapes are delicious.
No, his was good. His pasta salad was really good. Hey everyone, I'm Mia and welcome back to another episode of Recipe Drop. Today I'm showing you how to make my easy, delicious chèvre and bacon potato salad that's not only easy to transport, but also great to serve when you're having guests over. The creamy texture and tangy flavor complements grilled meats and vegetables, and served cool, it's a refreshing dish perfect for those hot summer days. We'll start by cooking the bacon and boiling the potatoes, then quickly sear them in the remaining bacon fat for extra flavor. After that, we'll toss all the ingredients together in a bowl and let it chill. The genius thing about this recipe is that instead of using a traditional dressing, the oil, lemon juice, and chèvre come together to create this delicious, creamy coating. First things first, I have a really large pot of water boiling. I'm using this as my lid. I promise it's clean. We're also going to use this to cook the bacon. Before we add the potatoes, I'm going to salt it pretty generously because we want the potatoes to get really nice and seasoned from within. Here I have 2 bags of 1.5 pound of potatoes, small potatoes, so I guess 3 pounds total. I like using these small ones. They are fresh potatoes, which they're not super waxy, but they're also definitely not very starchy, so I think they're really good for potato salads, and I think they're really cute. So I'm gonna start off by cutting them in half. Then we're gonna sear them cut side down in the bacon fat, which is gonna be really delicious. You could also use fingerling potatoes. I love using fingerling potatoes in potato salads. You could also use another waxier potato like Yukon Gold and just cut it into small pieces. There's a lot of potatoes to cut here, so this is a good step to have someone help you. So I'm just gonna put these potatoes in here while I wait for the water to boil. So instead of just simply adding lemon juice or vinegar to the potato salad or to the dressing, I guess, I'm gonna macerate some red onion in lemon juice, and this is gonna really help to tame the onion flavor and make it a little bit more sweet, and it's kind of like a quick pickled onion, if you will. My recipe, I recommend to use a small red onion, so I think I'm gonna use maybe 3/4 of this instead of the whole one. So I'm actually gonna take the half and cut it in half again. And now I'm gonna go in and just thinly slice it. Okay, it is boiling. Okay, in with the potatoes. Ooh, don't burn yourself. The potatoes are gonna cook for 8 to 10 minutes until they're just fork tender. We definitely don't want them to overcook. I'm doing a pretty rough chop here. Sometimes it's nice with a little bit bigger pieces. It's also nice with some small pieces. I'm gonna use this bench scraper to transfer everything to a little bowl. Macerated onions are a really easy way to add a little bit more flavor and acidity to any dish. They're really good on deviled eggs, they're really good on toast, really good on salads, hence why we're using them in this potato salad. Now I'm just gonna squeeze a whole lemon right into the onions. It's not gonna look like there's a lot of liquid, and that's fine, and that's kind of the way it's meant to be, at least for this recipe. But as we now mix the onions together with the lemon juice and a generous pinch of salt, the onions are gonna soak up all that acid and start to break down, and they're also gonna turn a brighter color, which is really nice. Usually the longer you let these sit, the better they're gonna taste, but even just 15 minutes is good enough. And when you taste them, you're gonna notice that they're gonna be a bit sweeter and they're gonna have less of that really pungent oniony flavor. We're gonna let these sit until the salad is ready to assemble, and you can kind of go back in and give them a nice stir every 5 minutes or so. Here I have 1/2 pound of bacon. So that I can fit a lot more bacon on the skillet at once, I'm gonna cut them in half. Just go like this. And we're starting off with a cold skillet, and this is to help render the fat of the bacon. If you start with a warm skillet, then the bacon is kind of gonna seize up, and it's not gonna be the same as if you were to cook the bacon with an increased gradual heat. Okay, so let's drain these. Here we go. So I'm also gonna just rinse them with a bit of cold water. Oh, the sink. Just to kind of help stop the cooking process. It's not gonna do exactly the same as if we were to put them in ice water. Plus we're gonna sear them again, so it's not a huge deal. So we have the bacon here. I'm gonna add it to medium high heat. Once you start to see the fat rendering, cook them for about 1 to 3 minutes per side until they're super nice and golden brown and crispy. I'm also gonna just place a paper towel down on here so that we can drain any extra fat from the bacon. So you can see that the bacon fat has really started to render. I'm gonna let it cook for probably 2 more minutes, flip, and then keep cooking it until it's done. If I'm cooking bacon in batches, I'm not letting the skillet come back to temperature between the batches, so I'm not really rendering the fat on the second batch. You can do it if you want, but I mean, that just seems like a lot of work. But you can kind of see here the difference. So this is a piece of bacon where we let the fat render first before we really cooked it, started the bacon in a cold skillet. And this piece is a piece of bacon where I cooked it in the second batch, where the skillet already was really hot, and you can see it's a little bit more seized up and a little bit more wavy than the first piece of bacon. We're gonna move on to searing the potatoes. A half pound of bacon gives a lot of bacon fat, so I'm actually gonna spoon some of this off because we don't need all of this. So just spoon it into a separate bowl. Oop. I was gonna say, make sure there's no water in there because it's gonna splatter. So I would leave probably about a tablespoon of bacon fat in the skillet. The bacon fat is gonna be really hot in the skillet, so make sure not to let it splatter up on you. But I'm gonna add probably half the potatoes at once. Flip them so that they are cut side down. You know, people always say, don't crowd the mushrooms, don't crowd the pan. I'm definitely crowding the skillet. So I have the heat on medium-high. I'm gonna let these sear until they're nice and golden brown, about 3 to 4 minutes undisturbed. I'm gonna just give these a stir. You can see the lemon juice has already taken on a really nice pink color. I also like to add a lot of parsley and fresh herbs to my potato salads. So I am just gonna cut probably about half a cup of parsley into the bowl. You could also just use your hands and tear the leaves. I do really want big pieces of parsley leaves though in this salad, so I'm not gonna cut them too finely. Let's check on the potatoes. Definitely could use another 2 minutes. To build the potato salad, I'm using this bowl by Rosti, and these come in a few different colors and a few different sizes, and they also have these lids, which actually cover the spout, which is amazing. There's not a ton of bowls out there that have this feature, and this makes it really easy for transporting. So if you wanna, assemble the potato salad in the bowl and keep it in here, then you can pop it in the fridge and then bring it with you wherever you're gonna go, to your barbecues, picnics, or whatever this summer. And they also have this silicone ring on the bottom, which is really nice when you're whisking or stirring or anything, because it really kind of stays put on the kitchen counter, which is really nice. But the lid, I think, is my favorite part. It's so nice, because then you also don't have to use cling wrap, which can be really annoying to use and also not as sustainable. So these potatoes are good, I think. Look at that. Nice, even golden brown color. Gonna add them right into this Rosti mixing bowl. I'm gonna add another tablespoon of bacon fat to the skillet. And then in with the remaining potatoes. The second batch of potatoes are done, so let's add them into the rest of them. And if you're worried about getting too much of the bacon fat in the potato salad, you can also drain the potatoes on paper towels as well. And I'm gonna chop up the bacon. So I like to have pretty, not huge pieces of bacon in my potato salad, but I don't want them to be like small little bacon bits. So I'm gonna cut them into kind of like varying sizes. I'm looking for any really big pieces now. But it's definitely essential to cook your bacon until it's really nice and crispy, because that's gonna add to the texture and the crunch factor. So now to build the potato salad, I'm gonna add all the bacon, all the macerated red onions, and all the lemon juice as well. And then all the parsley. So again, this is about half a cup. I'm also gonna add a teaspoon and a half of kosher salt. Also gonna go in with a pretty generous amount of black pepper. Since there's already some bacon fat in there from frying the potatoes in the bacon fat, I'm not gonna add a ton. I'm gonna probably add 1/4 of a cup or a little less to start with, and then we can mix. And if you feel like it needs a little bit more, then you can add more. Now I'm just gonna mix everything until it's evenly combined, and we are gonna add chèvre in there too, but I'm gonna actually wait for the potato salad to cool completely because I really don't want the chèvre to melt, and I want kind of those large, big, nice pieces of cheese in there. It looks like we added enough oil in there. I'm gonna just give it a taste just to make sure that the seasoning is right. The bacon fat and the olive oil together it's a great combo. I'm actually gonna transfer this to the fridge and let it chill, and then I'm gonna take it out and mix in the chèvre. So I let the potato salad cool, and now I'm gonna add in 4 ounces of chèvre, one of my favorite cheeses. I like to have bigger pieces in there. I think it looks really pretty, especially for a presentation, and then once you go to actually serve, you can mix it all together. So I'm just adding the chèvre into teaspoon sizes. But potato salad is just, I feel like it's just one of those staple summer dishes. I used to eat it a lot growing up as a kid on the beach. We would bring our picnic blankets and we would have potato salad and a rotisserie chicken and hummus and vegetables on the side. So now I'm just gonna give this a gentle toss. Like I said, I don't wanna completely mix it in there quite yet. So I'm gonna serve the potato salad in this dansk casserole dish. Not only are the dansk pots beautiful, but they also have these really cool lids that kind of act as trivets. So instead of having to use a hot plate, you can just pop it right on there. I know, isn't that cool?
No way.
Eugene's jaw just dropped. And you could even store the potato salad in this because it has the lid. You can bring it on the go. It has these cute little handles on the side. Okay, I'm just gonna pour everything in right in here. Gotta get all those leftover bacon pieces in the bowl. So I actually ended up saving a little bit of the bacon and some of the onion just to go on top. You don't have to do that, but just for presentation, I think it's kind of nice. But I think if you were to add anything, it would be to just add some more parsley on top. Okay, so I'm actually gonna put this in our Come and Get It Slack channel for people to come and have this for lunch because it's noon. So I don't wanna completely go crazy, but I'm gonna just have a little potato. Oh, this one's kind of funny looking. So good. I love how the bacon flavor shines through not only in the bacon pieces, but also in the bacon fat that we fried the potatoes in. And I think it just goes really well with the tanginess of the chèvre. Overall, I just think it's a really delicious potato salad, and I think you're gonna love it. Please let me know in the comments if you give it a try, and if you want the recipe, you can find it linked down below in the description. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.